What's up, everybody? We are back for season 2 of the Uncapped Network podcast, and you won't believe the guest we have on today.
We have a huge guest. You've probably seen him online before. He's controversial sometimes, but he always speaks his mind.
Yeah, we have Mr. Anthony Sorella from Money Buys Happiness. If you guys don't know him, he's really paved the way for podcasters and creatives and entrepreneurs in general. He's a monster. He's a monster.
And today we're shooting at the Grid Studio. Actually, he's a founder of it, so if you want to hit it up and shoot here too, check it out.
Make Canada think again, boys.
Yo!
Something, but I'll make room for you. Where are we going, big dog?
We're off to Toronto, about to shoot one of the biggest podcasts for the Uncapped Network. You know, we got the chef, my bad. We got the doctor, the engineer, Paul Marinowski, right behind the camera.
That's me.
You've only been driving for what, like 45 minutes, an hour?
An hour, we're stretching an hour.
Come on,
We're
bud.
making great time.
The Grid Studio out here in Toronto. We're about to have Anthony Sorella on the podcast, man. It's going to be a big one. But yeah, long ride from London, you know? Come here. Man wants a glass of water too, so. Anthony, it's a pleasure. Welcome.
This is great, bro.
Yeah.
It's cool. We shot in like studios all across America. Got some garbage or whatever. So all the furniture in here, out there. But that's why I was like, I think reach out like a way. Podcasting is a tough. You guys are really like the trailblazers in all this, right? Like especially for Canada. Like seeing you boys like winning, signing with full set. Like, bro, that made us amped. Look, it gave us something to look up to, and like, yeah, we can do it too. So like, appreciate you, brother. It's long overdue. Yes, it's long overdue. And Nestor, we're catching you next, huh? Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get up next. Next time. Peace. Those. What we'll do is I'll chop you up on the it looks the same on everything I do. It's just like, I don't even know how you do that.
What it is, like
Right, it's just scribbles, but it's like the exact scribbles every.
Dialed in, man. We dialed this puppy in. It'll be good to go. Cool. Anyways, I'm rambling, but you guys let me know. You let me know.
No, let's
start
not,
it.
man. Just
Let's
show
go
good whatever.
Let's just
Like,
go the vibe. We don't.
Yeah, you let me know. You want me to just fucking keep flying? Like,
keep flying,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Keep
Like
flying,
honestly,
bro.
it's just like I think it's easier just to kind of write out a conversation than like kind of script it out and be like, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
This.
No, as I mentioned, I think this is for podcasters, but this is for anybody in business. I think, like I mentioned, everyone wants to win the lottery. Everyone's like, oh, I want to be rich. I want to win the lottery. But if you don't play the ticket, you'll never win the lottery.
Yeah.
You want to be a successful business owner, but if you don't show up every day, that's your lottery ticket. And people get discouraged. They'll buy 10 lottery tickets, or they'll show up 10 days, don't see anything or very minimal progress, and they're like, I'm done. I'm going back to the regular everyday life, whatever it is. That's what I'm going back to. And so that's what it was for us with the podcast. And I mean, I use that analogy in my business, and that's the way we operate. And my team is really dialed in on that mindset that like we show up every day, we buy the lottery ticket every day.
Yeah.
You want to even scale that back on another level, like waking up. It's like you already won the lottery, bro. I wake up every day, and this has been a new thing for me. I wake up every day, and the first thing I do is I thank God. Like, wow, thank you for giving me another day on this earth. Like, that's already my first lottery ticket. I woke up, I got one. Okay, beautiful. Then for me, the next step is, okay, I got to get fit. I got to go to the gym, right? I had a big health kick. I lost a bunch of weight in the last 4 months. Okay, you want to get in better shape. You want to be better mentally, physically. Buy the lottery ticket. Go to the gym. That's the next lottery ticket. So on and so forth. And every day for every hour or so, I'm buying different lottery tickets to win the lottery and whatever that thing is. So it's getting fit. That's one of them. Waking up. That's one of them. Showing up for my team. That's one of them. 20 sales calls. That's one of them, right? Because I want to win these little lotteries, I call them. And not every day you're going to win them.
Yeah.
Some days you're going to work out. It's going to be a shit workout.
When
but
did you
showed
start
up.
operating with that mindset of like
This is recent,
every day is
bro.
a lottery?
This is recent, man. So we've been doing neighborhood. Neighborhood is April will be 6 years. Yeah. So that's our marketing agency, full service agency, the whole 9 yards. The podcast is I believe 3.5 years or almost 4 years now. and then MBH TV, which is the network. So we're sort of building our own version of, let's say, Barstool Sports, where we're acquiring IP, bringing talent under the network, things like that. That one is about, we're in year 2 as we speak. And to get to this point, man, I've put in so many fucking hours. I've lost more money than you guys could probably imagine, more than I could imagine. And I've lost friendships. I've been shit on by family members, everything. You know what I mean? And it kind of caught up to me. Like at the end of 2024, I was just like, kind of like, whoa, like there's so much happening, but none of it was like mattering to me. And I was like in this position where I've always been a very confident dude. Like I've always been confident. Like sales, I'm confident. In my business, I'm confident. In my vision, like my vision has always, like, there's no one more confident than me when it comes to like, this is where things are headed. And like, that's where I want to go. Like that's really my strong suit when it comes to business, is like having the vision of like where we need to go. And I don't know, it's just a buildup of so many things that were happening in my life all at once, family things, business things, just like where like the last quarter of like 2024, I like lost confidence in myself. And I didn't really realize it in the moment, but like sales went down. I stopped wanting to like film podcasts. I didn't want to get on sales calls. Like I didn't want to, and I couldn't really figure out why.
You think it might have been like a burnout maybe? Like just going
potentially,
too hard at it? Like,
potentially a burnout, potentially, you know, just not pouring enough into my cup. Like always worrying about like, how do I help everyone else? Cause that's the biggest thing. Like everything I've built has always been to like, okay, I want to hire a family member here, hire a family member there. Oh, bring my sister in, Ernesto, bring his sister in. Like, and like us just eating shit for 6 years while we try to make everyone else, put them in a secure position. Yeah. And I think it just caught out to me. And I think all that happened. And so I had a weird moment over the holidays, and I had a lot of time to reflect, and I had like conversations with my girlfriend, conversations with my mom, conversations with my sister, like tough conversations with all of them. Not tough, but more emotional. Emotional conversations with Ernesto. But one with Ernesto really hit me, and he was like, dude, like I feel like you're not confident in what we're building right now. And he's like, that's the weirdest thing for me to see, because you've always been the guy with the vision. He's like, you come to me, you tell me the vision, what we got to build. And then this is Ernesto's strong suit. He builds it. Like he puts the systems, he's the systems, the processes guy.
Integrator almost?
Sorry?
Like the integrator?
Exactly. Correct. So I go like, dude, this is where we need to go. And like, this is why we need to go there. And then he goes, bet. And then he comes on this side and he goes, systems, processes, blah, 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 puts it all together. And so he goes, dude, like I lean on you for the vision. I lean on you for that stuff. So when I'm not getting the feeling that you're confident in this vision that I'm putting all of this like hard work and labor into on the back end, like it's like demotivating me. And that fucked me up, bro, because like this is a guy I love, Ernesto. Like I love him. Like he's like my brother. Like I would kill someone for him, you know?
Of course,
And so when you hear that from somebody that you have so much love for and so much admiration for, that fucks you up.
100%.
And dude, I sat back and I was like, oh my God, I'm letting him down and I'm letting everyone down. Like this is fucked. And so the first thing I did, and I recommend this to any man, I'll say man, I recommend this to any man in a weird place in their life, tough place there. They don't know where to go, what to do, whether it be with a relationship, family, business, get fit. You get fit, everything starts to become more clear. I know that's like the cliche thing that everyone says. And for the first time in my life, I can say it's true. I really did it myself. And so first thing I did, obviously I still showed up every day for my business, but the first thing that I really dialed into was my fitness and my nutrition. So I started going crazy.
Was like your conscience bugging you? Like what made you conclude that those were the two things that were bugging you?
I just always heard, like I listen to a lot of podcasts. I have a lot of like creators and successful guys that I listen to. And they, the one common thing I always heard was like, you don't know where the fuck you're headed in life. You don't know what's going on and you're in a weird sort of dark place. Go to the gym.
Makes sense.
And they couldn't be more right. As soon as I started going to the gym and not just half-assing it 1 or 2 months. Like I made a commitment to myself. Like I'm here and I want to get to here. I started at 205 pounds. I'm at 190 now. So I dropped 15, but I put on a lot of muscle and now I'm aiming for 175. So like I made it a mission. Like there's no...
Congrats, bro. And you're killing it. And like the people who like follow like, the brand, like they see it too, right? Like you're not
100%.
stopping. You just keep on going, right?
It's like a beacon now that people can reflect on and also follow behind, right?
Well, correct. Like I think if you're building a brand and you guys are learning this and will continue to learn this, is like you know, okay, you guys have a podcast and you go, this is the type of audience that we want. We want these type of guys listening to our pod, watching our pod. Well, you need to move every day like somebody that those people would look up to.
Yeah.
Right? And that was the same thing for me, for my business, for my partners, for my family, for my girlfriend, for the podcast, the audience we've built was like, if I want these people to look at me in a certain light, I have to move like that guy.
100%.
Right? And so the first, it's kind of a cheat code. The first and easiest way you can convince people that you're serious about life in general is getting fit.
That's how you look, right?
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. This could be controversial. I don't listen to fat people, bro. Straight up. I don't. Because if you can't, I'm not saying, oh, somebody's a little bit chubby. But if you're fat, bro, I don't care what. I don't want to hear a word you have to say about how I should live my life. Because if you can't even get that in check, don't talk to me.
Did you ever have like a feeling of quit back in like the holidays when you were feeling like, did you ever think you were going to drop this?
Brother, I have feelings of quit all the time. Okay. I have, and as an entrepreneur, I'm sure you guys can attest to this. It's every day, bro. Every day you have this little, it's like the angel and the devil on your shoulder. Yeah. And every day the devil shows up. We're talking about the lottery tickets. He's trying to win his lottery ticket too. Every day he's going to show up and tell you, you can't do this. Oh, that deal fell through. You can't do this. Oh, that podcast only got 500 views, 100 views. You can't do this. Oh, he's going to tell you every day. It's just like, and you're going to hear it. Yeah. And you're going to hear him say that shit. But you got to turn the other side, turn the shoulder and go, the angel, this guy. Because this guy's telling me, keep going harder. Fuck that deal you just didn't close. All good. Fuck that episode that did fucking 100 views. Fuck that. Keep going. Keep striving. Keep going. And that's the way I move now. That's the way I'm operating right now. So the quitting, you're going to want to quit every day. And any entrepreneur that tries to tell you, oh no, you have to have this crazy mindset. Shut up, bro. Shut up. Because it's a fake message. You're going to want to quit every day. And yes, you're going to have your high. You're going to have your super highs where maybe for a small period of time, a week, maximum a month, let's say, that the devil is like that little devil on your shoulder. He's completely gone, but he always finds his way back. He'll always come back. Yeah. And that's the fight you got to have. You got to have that fight with yourself every day. Yeah.
What was interesting is like you started off saying you start your day off with like thanking God, right? Like how important is your spiritual health in your life?
Bro, that's been a new thing for me. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was that guy. And I've been so into my religion. I grew up Catholic. I went to a Catholic school, Catholic family. My grandmother, like we're Italian, so my grandmother's like super Catholic. My parents a little bit less, and then that's kind of that's been the trajectory for Catholicism. I feel like grandparents, and it's slowly been dying down, and it's sad to me because, I was one of those people. I just didn't care about it, and I wasn't like, oh, God's not real and this and that. I just was never like really dialed into my faith at all. And then thanks to my girlfriend, she kind of was like, hey, like this doesn't hurt. Like, let's just go to church. Let's see how you feel. Like, let's just try it out. And so I started maybe 4 months ago. And I'm not going to lie again, sit here and say I go to church every Sunday. I try my best a couple times a month at least. But that's been a big piece, man. I think like when you put your faith in God and whoever your God is, you will see a solid return. And people will shit on that. People will say, there's no God, atheist, this and that. It's all what you see. And hey, man, to each their own. To each their own 100%. But the way I see it, especially, I'll speak to the Catholic religion specifically, is, the lessons that you're taught, and I was taught as a kid were, don't steal, don't smash your neighbor's wife, all these different things, you know what I mean? And all of these commandments and these lessons you learn, they're not bad. So whether you want to believe that there's a God up there or Jesus actually was on earth or whatever the case is, the commandments, the sort of sentiment that they give you is all good. Yeah. It's never going to be bad.
Yeah, it's good morals to actually build your life upon.
Correct, right? Correct. So I'm getting more and more into that, but I wake up every day and I thank God just that I woke up.
Yeah.
I remember earlier you were talking about being like really like the vision, like you're a very visionary. Was that since little? Like, have you always had this mind, like I want to dream big and do big things, or was it something that just came upon you at one point?
Yeah. No. That's been me since a young age. I remember so it's funny. Like as a kid, I did 2 things. I played soccer and I danced. I was a dancer.
Breakdancing? What kind of
I
dancing?
did. Oh, bro, no, not ballet. But I did hip hop. I did tap dancing.
Okay.
And I did jazz dancing. Okay. I did all 3. My parents put me into it. My sister was in it, and my parents just put me into it. They're like, this kid, like, because I was like a showman. I would love to just put on fucking performances, and I was always the loudest in the room and whatever. Yeah. So they put me into those 2, and I excelled in both of them. And I had dreams for both of them. Like I had dream like, so as a kid, I was always like, for soccer, like Mom, I'm gonna be a professional. My favorite team's Milan. So I was like, Mom, I'm gonna play for Milan, and I'm gonna buy you a house there, and da da da. And you know, from the dancing side, the sort of progression in dance was like you end up like going into commercials and maybe movies. So I did a bunch of like kids TV shows, and
Really?
I did a couple commercials for some like pretty notable like brands. As a kid though, as a kid, that dream eventually fell off because I loved soccer more. But I've been the visionary guy since early on. You know, every Ernesto will tell you this is funny. Every business we have was my vision, and then us coming together and him really taking the reins on like building the foundation structurally and process wise. And then obviously I tap in as well on that side, but he really puts that together. So I'm the vision, and he is the like groundwork. Like let's build that foundation. So I don't know. I feel like I was born with it in a way. I don't know if that's just in me, if that's because of my life circumstances. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I've been like a vision guy forever. Like as a kid, it was weird. I'd be like, my mom will tell me these stories and I laugh like 4, 5, 6 years old saying like, Mom, like we're going to be so rich. Like, and she's
awesome.
like, what the fuck is this? Like this kid's 5, bro. Like, where's this coming from? You know? So I feel like it's definitely been something that it's my strong suit since I was a kid.
Yeah. I kind of want to get back to like the spiritual side, because I had one question in regards to like, the spirituality of stuff. Like, how do you feel that has affected you like in your day-to-day life, going to like, you know, church and every Sunday? Because like I'm Catholic too, and I just recently like dove in, you know, like I'm married, and
congratulations.
Thank you. And as you know, as like when you marry in the Catholic Church, like you become one with God, right? And your wife, like that's when God exists within the marriage. So it's like you start to realize like, damn, I can't just like look at my wife and be mad at you, because then I'm mad at God technically too. So it's like I look at it completely different, and it's like, it's interesting to me, and I think it's important to talk as men about this as well, right? So like, how has that benefited you, like going to church and kind of like opening that side more?
Yeah, I think it's just allowed me to kind of look at situations differently. Like you said, like, and you made a perfect example. Oh, if I'm mad at my wife, I'm mad at God, right? And so you start to kind of bring that mentality to every conversation you have, every decision you have to make, right? It's like, somebody who's godless, religionless, when they're making a decision, all they have is what's in their head to kind of make that decision and guide them in the right direction in their experiences. But if I'm looking to make a decision, right or wrong, and I have that thought in my mind, like, okay, but like, is this aligned with my spirituality? Is this aligned with my religion? It's almost like you're adding an extra layer of like security. And a lot of times, again, when we go back to the commandments and all the things that the Catholic religion teaches you, they're all generally good things. Yeah. So really, does it hurt to sort of have this safety blanket of like a second? It's like I have a business partner because I want a second set of eyes on everything I do. Yeah. If my second set of eyes on my moral choices is God, great. I have a second set of eyes on moral choices that is the Almighty, essentially, right? To some people.
That's a good way to put it, actually.
No, literally. So that's kind of the way, I think that's the kind of way it's been affected me, is like, I really think it's essentially to kind of dissect it for someone who maybe isn't religious or isn't into their spirituality. It's just thinking twice about every decision you make, right? And so a lot of times people, and I feel like today more than ever, people make rash decisions and don't think long enough about them, especially when it comes to being online. You have girls who are joining OnlyFans and not thinking about the consequences in the future, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden the future happens, and where are they? So it's like, but if they had even a little bit of God in their life, would they have made that decision?
Probably not.
You see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So I think it's just another set of eyes, bro, in the most simple terms.
Yeah, and like I just recently like started like reading the Bible more, and like that's like a whole different thing, because like I haven't like I'll be honest, bro, like I haven't been reading the Bible for a while, bro. I've been Catholic my whole life, but like just as of recently, like I don't know if it's because like of the marriage or whatever, I'm starting to think, okay, I want to read the Bible, and bro, like the answers are there for anything you want. Like
literally,
like,
bro.
You're thinking like, yo, how are the answers in this like book? You know what I mean? And like it's just interesting, like. And the more you like read it, the more you start to like realize, like, I don't know, it's just like you sort of realize more about like why we're here in a weird way. Like, I don't know, that sounds kind of corny.
There's also
but,
like a story for everything too, right? Like as you said, all the answers, like if you go, there's a story where this happens or a certain situation where you can now align what
the amount of times they predict like the old prophecies and how it comes true, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
again, it's like imagine some non-believers just took a second to read it and to be like, wait a minute, this was written how many years ago? And like what they're saying correlates exactly with like either A, the times we're currently in, or like B, the situation I'm currently in and the connections you can make. So, you know, it's beneficial to anybody. I don't care who you are. Like, again, you don't gotta, like I said, you don't gotta start by diving all in and going to church every Sunday and doing all this. But I would recommend just take a read. It's not gonna hurt. It doesn't hurt. And if you don't like it, all right, move on. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So
100%.
How old are you guys?
Well, we're both 29.
29.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you, 90?
95, baby.
95.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a 96. Okay,
Nice.
so,
Okay, we're right
there.
Same shit.
Yeah.
How's being married, bro?
Good, bro. Good. Yeah, it's good. Like,
How long have you been married?
We've been married for a year now. Yeah,
Congrats, that's
so it was one of
awesome.
those things. It was like, so a few years back, I was in Ottawa for 2 years, and we were dating. We've been dating for a while now, like 7-8 years.
Cool.
And then it was just me and my dog and my one friend. We're trying to start a business out there.
Okay.
Crypto trading. So you know how that
Nice.
story
All
goes.
right.
The whole like academy, I am
Yeah.
academy, and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
So you become one of those guys. So like I was out there, and when I was with my dog, I was like, it was a tough time, like no money, like really down, right? And then I just started praying the rosary every single day, bro. Like just walking my dog. And then I'm just getting these signs of like, yo, like I've been dating, like she's the perfect girl for me, right? Like there's no, like you can go to the club, you can go hook up with somebody, and we all know this with history, is you come back and you feel like fucking shit. And it just eats at you. So it's like, yo, like I'm just wasting my time. I know this is my girl. So like made a decision, and bro, it's been the biggest blessing. Like I won't lie, it's been the biggest blessing, and like I've been learning a lot too, you know what I mean? Yeah.
No, it's interesting. It's something that marriage is funny. Marriage is not frowned upon, but like people don't care for it anymore.
Yeah, people just want to be together.
And you know, for better or for worse, who knows? We'll see. My opinion is, it's funny how my girlfriend's gonna watch this. She's gonna be like, "What are you waiting for?" I've been with my girlfriend. We've been together a very long time.
How long is very long?
April will be 9 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like
Congrats, bro.
I'll be 29 in April. That's also 9 years for us. So we started dating when we were 20. So it's like we've been through a lot together. You know, she's had to be by my side through some like me having no money, me trying to figure it out.
Especially as an entrepreneur, bro, like what she goes through, like
dude, and behind every successful entrepreneur, I shouldn't say every because there are single successful entrepreneurs, but behind a lot of entrepreneurs, successful ones, there's like a woman who held it down. And my girl was one of those. So I asked that because I'm so interested. I always ask people like, what's been the change, right? Because like, okay, again, when I look at decisions, I like to have another set of eyes, or I like to really think about the decision, right? So when I think about marriage, okay, so I live with my girlfriend. Obviously, we've had sex, so it's not like the old days where it's like you have to get married to have sex and move in together. So we've done that. We've moved in. Obviously, we've had sex, and so I'm trying to wonder, like, going into year 9, right?
Yeah.
What's gonna be what difference does that ring make, that union make?
Yeah.
You know, so I always ask people like,
bro, like
what was it for you?
Honestly, I just said it. It was like having God involved in that union now.
Cool.
Because then it's that's literally it. Like you look at it and you look from that lens, like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, this is like my wife. Like, you know, God is in between this. Okay, now we might have a family, but you're thinking about her like with all your decisions. It's weird, but because like I get what you mean. Like me personally, I moved in with my wife for the first time. Like I never lived with her prior, right? So it's
so
like,
you did it right. All right, you did it right.
Well, I don't know if you know, there's no right or wrong, like you said, brother. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, like, it happened before the marriage too, right?
Yes,
so
of course.
we're all on the same page, right? But I don't know. Like, it kind of, the marriage solidified it because, like, I was fortunate enough to be raised from a good dad. You know what I mean? And I know he's instilled these values of like what it is to be a man. And for me, the definition of being a man is to be the husband for your wife and for your family. So like you automatically, like, you start to think like, oh, okay, this is what I'm forming now. Like this, my dad was doing the same thing back when I was small, right? And then you start to just think differently, bro. And like, to add a little cherry on top, I'm expecting a baby boy in May. So like,
Bro.
so bro, like, I'm out here.
Man,
Thank you, I appreciate this.
Bro.
A lot-
That's fire.
Yeah.
And you got the boy out of the way too. I love that.
Bro, the bambino, bro. Trust me,
I
she's
love
Italian.
that
She's
shit.
Italian, right? Bro, we were
This
amped,
guy, bro, you're doing it right, man. This guy's doing it right, bro. I love that. I love that.
After you gotta share with him the story of like how
You
it
share
was,
with that. That was
Yo,
wild.
so wait, are you single?
No. So I got a girlfriend. I've been seeing her her for like probably 6 months like together, but I've known her for about a year, I would say.
Okay, all right.
Kind of same idea. Like
Fresh, I like
as
it.
you said, like we're actually moving in together in probably 3-4 months, maybe less.
Okay.
So kind of just jumping the gun on that one,
Yeah.
right? But like I've never been so sure about someone because the best part is like you can go, as he said, you can go search, you can find all these women, but when you have someone who kind of cares more about you than you care about yourself, you start making decisions differently, and that impact not just yourself but her. So I've found a lot of peace in it, right? Because like now, like my focus isn't on women. It isn't on just like stupid little things. It's about growing us together and also growing for a future, right?
Yeah.
So it's been nice, right? It's like for me, I was single for God who knows how long. I was just bouncing around, just had like relationships and stuff like that.
That's
But
gonna be your
never
first
actually-
Valentine in a long time.
Yeah, bro. Like that's what we were talking. So it's like it's
Better
been
hear
good.
some nice, eh?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, shit, hear some
Bro, even
nice.
too, so she always makes these fun. She's like, "Oh, I got you something nice." And I'm like, "Damn." I'm like, "All right, well, I got to go buy another gift, another gift." But like, it's kind of it goes back to that whole story where like you have someone that cares more than you. Then what can you really fight back, right?
Yeah.
It's something that you got to accept and also love back as much as they love you.
And listen though, like the other side of it is like a lot of dudes will get into relationships that aren't right for them, you know, and let a relationship sort of stunt their growth. So there's a fine line of like what's good and what's bad, right? And what's worth fighting for and what's not. And that it's a blurred line a lot of times. But guys,
And
congrats,
especially
that's awesome.
and
No, thank
especially
you, man.
lately coming out of this whole like crazy democratic point of view, like the like
shit.
no but
It's
straight
true, though.
but straight up though, it's like that definition has like females kind of playing that manly role now, and like decisions.
I hate that shit, bro.
And, you know, what I mean?
My situation, I'm super vocal about it. Is my girlfriend she's retired. I retired my girlfriend. My girlfriend does not work.
love it, bro.
She takes care of the house. She takes care of me. She keeps it. She holds it down. And we, you know, soon maybe the marriage and the baby and all that stuff. But it's gonna be traditional roles for us. I'm holding it down. And that was kind of the thing, was always like, we knew that from day one. It was like, this is the life we want. Like, she's like, I don't want to fucking work. She's been talking about a baby since she's 20. Like, this girl's like there's gonna be no better mother on this planet than my girlfriend. Like, I'm sorry guys. I know you guys have girls and stuff. I don't want to be that guy, but like, I know this. I know this one for sure. And fuck, even my mom hears that, she might be pissed. But like, I know that, and I knew that from the beginning, and that was always something for me because I had such a good relationship with my mom. I was like, the woman I end up with, like, she needs to be that for my kids. And so, you know, that was solidified from the beginning. And the moment that I felt even the slightest like I could make it happen, I basically retired her. I said, like, you're done working. Like, go tomorrow and tell them like 2 weeks and you're done.
That's awesome.
And
bro.
so, you know, she's been along for the whole ride. She's seen no money. She's seen some money. Then she's seen no money again. Then more money. Then no money again. Then money. And so, you know, it was time. I was like, yeah, I have to reward you for this, right?
Yeah.
For sticking with me and sticking through a ton of bullshit. And so anyways, long story short, yeah. So she's retired, and essentially that's kind of the game plan, is like, I want, like, going back to the whole democratic, like, women should be, no, fuck that shit. Me and my girl, we know what's good. We don't give a shit. And like, and it's funny. And she's so proud of it too. Like, we'll go to dinner with like friends or our business, and I'll bring her to the thing, and we'll get into that conversation. And even if they don't agree with it, or the wife's like, you don't need a man. No, my girl's like, no, I need my man. She's like, no. She's like, no. Trust me, I need my man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need her.
Yeah.
Right. But we play, I say relationships, it's a business deal. Like, I look at everything in life like a business deal in a good way.
Yeah.
That, like, I bring this, I promise to give you this, you promise to give me this, and we're both happy. I'm giving you what you want and you need. You're giving me what I want and what I need. We're set up for success. Yeah. The same way you go into a business deal. I'm going to give you this service. You're going to pay me what I need to do this service. We both leave happy.
Yeah.
We want to kiss each other. We love each other.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all symbiotic.
Business is the same fucking thing as a relationship. Now a relationship gets a little messier than business usually, because there's love, right? But then the love should be the love part should be the reason that you do more for them.
Yeah.
Right? And so anyways, long story short, I hate that whole like women being fucking masculine. I hate seeing women in
The
their
boss,
fucking
girl
masculine.
bosses.
And dude, like I have female employees here,
Yeah.
and I'll say the same thing. Whenever your husband or your boyfriend's ready to retire you, I'll be sad to see you leave, but I'll be so happy for you.
Yeah,
100%.
Exactly.
That's the energy.
Yeah,
you know?
they say that like a woman is a man's biggest weakness, but a man is a woman's biggest strength. Like that oppositeness has to happen. You know what I mean? And
The
it's
yin
true.
and yang.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Dude, it's relationships aren't easy, right?
Yeah.
Business isn't easy. It's all the same. I look at relationships and business in a very similar light. They both take a lot of work. Both parties got to be committed in everything that you do. But if you do that and you stay consistent and you're resilient towards whatever your end goal is, you'll get there. Like I was telling you guys earlier about the podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Please don't stop.
Yeah.
Like, do not stop.
Yeah.
Our podcast has brought us millions of dollars. We started it for fun. I had no vision for it other than just like, I want to put a good message out there. I want to talk my shit. I want to tell people what my opinions are. And that's that. And it turned into something that I could have never imagined it'd be. Yeah. And it took me on such a ride, it took us on such a ride. And so that's why I try to tell everybody, like, if it takes you fucking 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, like, do not stop. There's so much that can come out of this, And people don't realize that. Social media has messed up people's perceptions.
Are you still kind of in shock of like some of the milestones you've hit? Like knowing that from where you started and like you said, you just did it like out of fun with your boy.
Yeah.
Like, does it still kind of like hit you?
Yeah, when I have the time and I'm trying to give myself a little bit more of this time to like sit and think about it, it kind of, I almost like laugh about it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what happened these last 6 years? Like, what the fuck, right? Because a lot of times in business, as you start to see success, any level, like in this much success or this much success, you forget that like 3 years ago or whatever the timeline is, that like you were dreaming to be in that position. I remember starting off neighborhood and being like, fuck, when we start bringing in 20,000 a month, bro, we're going to be rich.
Yeah.
And you get there and you realize with more income and more revenue, if you want to grow, brings more costs. So you're not rich at 20,000 a month in revenue. But, I try to remember like, whoa, where I'm at now, I was dreaming. I thought all my problems would be gone if I got to this position, So I try to remember that. I'm trying to give myself some more time. But yeah, bro, like some of the rooms I've sat in and some of the people like I've gone to interview, like we released an interview recently. It went crazy, like a couple 100 and almost 200,000 views, like with this gentleman, Odie Kobo. The guy's like, I can't even tell you how incredible this guy is, but like billionaire. You're talking guys who are like playing in the B's now. Fuck the M's. We're talking B's now. And I'm like, and we finished the episode and the guy's like, dude, you guys are incredible. Like, I need your number. Like, we need to go for, and I'm like, where am I, bro? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, dude, like 6 years ago, I was chugging tequila in the club trying to get people like for $10 a head. Like I was a fucking club owner. I was just trying to get paid any way I could. Like now I'm sitting here in this position, but when I have those moments and I remember, I like, as much as I'm like, this is crazy and like, whoa, I also remember and I try to give myself credit and like, but you worked for this, bro. Like you fucking put in hours that not many people would be willing to put in. You missed family parties that people wouldn't miss. You told your girlfriend we were going for dinner 7 Fridays in a row and canceled on her. Like so many things that I've done that other people had to just wait on me for, and so many things and sacrifices that I've made, places I couldn't go, like you know what I mean, like events that I couldn't go to. All my best friends are going to here and doing this, and I'm sitting in the fucking office like grinding away. Like that wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. But like I try to remind myself, like you're only here, bro, because you do that. You did that, and you're only gonna get to where you want to go is because you're putting in that time, right? 100%. And so every once in a while, give yourself a pat on the back for where you've gotten to. 100 subscribers, give yourself a pat on the back. Say, buddy, good fucking job, and then get to work again. And give yourself another pat when you're at 200. Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of times, like hyper successful men or men who are chasing that type of success, we forget to also just be like, bro, good job, dude. I'm also not one to like, I don't celebrate shit. So I'm not saying go out there because you got 100 subscribers, start popping champagne and go crazy. I also don't believe in that. Like that means that you have low standards. There's again a balance, but also don't forget to just like talk to yourself. Bro, I hop in my car sometimes and my girlfriend's, where you going? I'm like, I just need to go for a drive, like clear my mind. And I talk to myself. Bro, Ant, what the fuck's going on? People would think I was crazy. If like there was a camera, they'd be like, what the fuck? This guy's nuts. I talk to myself, yo, Ant, what's up, bro? Like what's bothering you right now? Where are you at? What are you stuck with? And I'll fucking have convos with myself and bounce ideas off myself and come to conclusions. And sometimes in those conversations, it's literally just like, dude, holy fuck, look what you just did this week. Like what a week you had, bro. You spent so many hours at the office. You took this to this. You built that to that. We've implemented this new thing. Like you crushed it, bro. Good job, dude. And I'll just roll around. I'll fucking bump Drizzy. I'll always bump old school Drizzy.
Yeah.
Fucking windows down in the fucking winter, freezing, but just to get that air.
Yeah.
And I go off, and that's it. And so yeah, it's been a blessing. Like I think it's just that's really the way I gotta look at it. It's been a blessing, and I'm blessed to be able to do what I do ultimately.
Yeah.
So
How is it like managing so many projects at once? You know, you have so much going on, so much people as well. You know, is it strictly like we always hear you time block and you have to, like, not you personally, but like in general, right? You have to time block and you have to like, it's not really like that, is it?
yeah, listen, everyone has their own way. Everyone
yeah.
has their own way. I'm not gonna shit on everyone's way. I know like time blocking is like a big thing. I'm not the best when it comes to that. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like, yeah, bro, I'm optimized at 100%. Number one, I have certain non-negotiables in my life, and so
What are they?
Great question. They're number one is I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, only 3 days a week with my trainer. But like Dan from Aesthetics Factory, brother, I love you. You literally changed my life. So this is a shout out to you. 3 days a week, bro. It's all I work out, and it's been amazing. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings, that hour, non-negotiable. Like I don't care. There's no meeting. There's no nothing in the world that can take me away from that. So that's a non-negotiable for me. Another non-negotiable for me is I wake up, I sit down with my girlfriend, we sit on the couch, she makes me an espresso, she has her coffee, we sit, we chat, I ask her, how was your sleep? We have a little conversation. Okay, what's your plans for the day? Boom, again, another non-negotiable. So those are two of my like more main ones that I literally would not change for the world. Other things I call non-negotiables, but you know, if there's $1 million deal knocking, I'm out.
Yeah.
So those would be my two main ones. But to your question and to kind of connect them is, how do I manage it? Well, when I make sure that the non-negotiables are met, it makes everything else easier. Then from an organizational standpoint, bro, Ernesto hates me for this. He fucking wants to kill me all the time because he's super like organized, like that whole like I'm so unorganized. I'm working to get better at it because that's not an excuse to just be like, I'm not this person. You need to still get better. But I'm like, so I'm old school with it. I am a fucking notebook. I get to the office, so I do my workout. I do my thing in the morning, do my workout, come here. I sit down, open my book, and I have 4 years worth of books where I write the date. So I have every single day for 4 years. I write the date. I put to do with a fucking line across it. My penmanship's horrible. So if you open the book, you guys wouldn't even know what I was writing in there. And then I write out every single thing that I need to get done, tasks, right? And then boom, obviously I have a Google Calendar that my team keeps updated for me. So any meetings, they link it to my Google Calendar. I know it's coming up. So that's kind of like what I do on a day-to-day basis to keep it as structured as possible. I'm old school, bro, pen to paper. And I kind of love it in a sense because it's something that, God forbid, when I have kids one day and I'm not around and they're older, maybe they have fucking 100 notebooks. I'm like, dude, this is what my dad did on February 5th, 2025. They'll be looking at it in 2040 and be like, dude, 15, 20 years ago, my dad sat with the boys at Uncapped. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And then they can go to YouTube and pull it up and watch it. And so that's kind of the way that I try to stay organized. And then the last thing is like, it's less about me and now it's more about my team. Is my team is like, bro, my team is the fucking best. I don't care. No one has a fucking better team than I do. And that's calculated. I built it that way. I built this team exactly how I wanted them, right? And that came from a lot of trial and error. We've hired people that have been bad apples. We had to fire them. We've done the whole thing, but everyone understands the vision. First and foremost, I tell them, this is the vision for the company. Okay, great. We see you slotting in here to help us get to that point. Are you bought in or are you not? Right. And like within 1 week, you'll know.
Yeah.
So we don't let shit employees and lazy people, we don't keep them for more than a week. We learned that lesson. And we had a very successful guy, someone from Dragon Den, Michael Weckerly. He said, fire fast, hire slow. Take your time filling in a position. If you have to step in for a little bit to do that role, step in. But when you do hire somebody and you can already tell they're off, fire them. Don't wait. And so we've implemented that. And so I've been able to manage all of these projects because I just have a team of superstars. And I wouldn't train they're all bought in. You know, you see my team's here. It's a fucking 9 p.m. My team's dialed in, bro. 9 p.m. They got here at 8 a.m. I don't pay them an extra fucking hour, past 6 o'clock. Like, they're on salary. They're here. I don't have to ask them to be. They're here late night grinding because they believe in the vision that we're creating here. Mentality. So when you ask the question of how I'm able to do everything I'm able to do, is because I have a team of absolute monsters that are bought into the vision. Yeah. It's that simple.
How do you reflect on being a better leader for them so that you can actually provide the leadership that they actually need?
Feedback, bro. That's my number one thing. I take all feedback. I tell my team, if you think I could do something better, tell me. There's no right or wrong thing. I'm not always going to agree with you because sometimes you have to remember, like, they also don't understand what it means to be a leader. And I'm trying to train them to be leaders so we can keep hiring under them. So sometimes they'll come with things and I'll say, you're absolutely right. And I got to be better with that. Okay. Oh, true. We should implement that. Oh, that's great. We'll do that. And sometimes they come in with an idea and I go, appreciate the feedback. Here's why that's not right. Like, here's why I know for sure that that's not the right way. But feedback is number one. And then number two is, bro, I listen to people. Like, I look at, for example, Patrick Bet-David. He is a great leader. He's the GOAT, man. Our interview with him was incredible. He's a great leader. Yeah. And so if I look at him and I go, that guy's a great leader, I listen to the way he talks. Yeah. Communication as a leader is you can't, it's priceless. Like, you can't put a price on how important communication is as a leader. Remember, at the end of the day, when you're trying to get people to buy into a vision, you have to communicate that differently to everyone. Because the way that I'm going to get you to buy into my vision in comparison to you is going to be very different. I'm going to have to speak to you a certain way, certain tone. I'm going to have to tell you certain things to make you be like, I see where you're going. And vice versa, you might be completely different. So a good leader knows how to communicate their vision to everybody, right? Yeah. And a good leader also knows how to communicate to their team when they fuck up. Some people, some of my team members, I can talk to them like, bro, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? We'll laugh about it. I'll be like, dude, come on. You knew better than that. No. You're good. And then never again. And I have some team members, let's say more even on the feminine side, where I'll sit them down and say, listen, this is where you went wrong. Why did you do that? Right? What happened there? No. Okay, if you weren't confident, come to me. Yeah. Come to one of the other partners, ask questions, you know, and you get to that point. So just working on my communication, that's been a massive thing.
What about when you're scouting for talent per se, right? Because you have a lot of like podcasts under the brand, right? Yeah. What is it that you guys are looking for exactly?
Hard work. That's it. One thing. Hard fucking work. How hard are you willing to go? That's the first thing. Everything else comes second. But if you don't have that, you're done. We've had people with massive followings who I'm sure could crush a show. I don't give a fuck. You don't work as hard as me, you're not a part of the network. Yeah. You won't put the hours in. You won't believe in the vision. You won't spend the late nights working on your show that we're partnered on. And then vice versa. That's the same thing for my employees. Hard work first. I'd rather take somebody, even for, let's say from an employee side, I'd rather take somebody who has zero experience in this industry, but comes to me and says, I will learn anything. You want me to learn anything? I will learn it. I'll take you all day over the guy who's been doing this for 20 years. Yeah. All day. Because the guy's been doing it for 20 years. Maybe and maybe not. Most likely, he's got an ego. He thinks he knows everything and he's not willing to sit and learn. Buddy over here, who's like, has no ego and is just like, dude, give me a chance. That's my guy. But they would both get put to the same test. You have to learn this within this time frame. That's test one. You pass that test, we move you to the next stage, right? So hard fucking work. It's the cliche saying, but hard work beats talent. Yeah. That's the name of the game. We dropped a show. We had a show called Girls Next Door.
I was about to ask about that one too, right? Because like I've seen it out, right? The promotion and like the turnover of hosts, and I was wondering like, what is it that you need for someone to stick, or is it?
Yeah. So it's funny because the first two girls, they were the first show we ever signed. Yeah. And they were incredible. Like, they were great hosts. Like, they crushed. Like, that show was thriving. In 9 episodes, like, we had the show doing like 10K views an episode. Like, it was fucked. Like, it went from like their first episode to like 1,500, then it was like 2,500, then 4K, then 4K, then 6K, then 10K. Crushing. And like, people loved them.
You had viral reels going on too. Like,
bro, we had reels 5 million, 6 million. Like, we sent them to New York and like, go do street interviews. And they went and, bro, we're talking like crushing. And bro, after 9 episodes, they were like, we want a whole new deal. And we're like, dude, you're 9 episodes in.
Yeah, like chill.
So
chill for a second.
So what, greed kind of took over
exactly,
that at that point?
So then that was the thing. It was like, they came in with the hard work energy, but look how quickly that switched. 9 good episodes, which by the way, you know, if we never put you on and gave you the opportunity, you'd be done. Like they were coming with talks like, oh, if you don't want to give this to us, we have another network that's ready to give us the deal that we want. I said, go. I said, go. Done. Deal's cut. We own the brand. We own the IP, we had all of it. It was ours. We owned it. And she didn't like, I'll say one of them really didn't like that. And I said, listen, like, let's get through a year. And after a year, we'll give you equity in the actual brand, like which super fair. Like we're putting up all the money, all the resources, our office space, our equipment, the whole thing, top to bottom. You had 9 fucking episodes. Yeah. Yes, they're great. Don't get me wrong. Let's get through a year and we'll have a plan for you to eventually start owning equity of the show. Like we were this close to start monetizing. They were about to start seeing money. And greed got to them. And back to the hard work thing and that the mentality's not there. You're done. Cut it. And it hurt me because that was like sort of my baby. Like I really loved the show and like I loved the girls as hosts and I was very dialed into
the name of the show, like perfect, even like the logo too, but it was sick. I'm like,
dude, I put all that together. Like I put all that together. I was so excited about it, but mentality's not there. And then long story short, it's hilarious that the girls aren't even friends anymore. So that is proof to me that it's like, okay, had I kept them and kept in the position, it would have blown up later down the road and I would have been way more invested into it. Right. So that's the proof that's like the second you smell something's not right and the apple's looking a little bit rotten it looks super shiny on this side. And then, you know, when you pick it up at the grocery store and you turn it around, you're like, wait, what's this brown mark? Bro, put it back down. Don't take it. Right. And so I learned that lesson. And it's funny, Ernesto really pushed me on that because I was like, I don't care, bro. Like the show's crushing. Like we need to keep it rolling. And I'm like, he's like, no, bro, like if the attitude is wrong, it's going to bite us in the ass later on. And he was so fucking right. He was so fucking right. And so just one example of how that plays into like now the network, the whole like mentality, the hard work thing. They had the hard work, but then the mentality was wrong.
Okay.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It goes hard work first and then mentality. So you can have one without the other, or you can have the mentality like, I want to be rich, but you don't put the hours in. So you fail both ways. If you don't got both of them, you're failing. And so, anyways, that long story short, I don't even ever think I've said that on a fucking podcast, by the way. So you guys got it here first. But I don't want to go too deep into it at the end of the day.
And at the end of the day, like we just figured we asked. Because like I remember like personally, bro, like I was excited about that launch from you guys. I remember seeing it, like the logo. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, these guys, like they just got it, bro. Like the girls next door, obviously. It's a fucking great name. And like I even like the first 2 hosts, whatever, the second 2 hosts. And I just was wondering like what is it? Why isn't it sticking? Because like the brand is there. I felt like, you know.
Well, it's stuck right on from the first 2 girls, which we're super excited about. But then like obviously it died out or that deal died, and then we tried to put some other girls in place. And again, that was our first show, so it was a learning lesson. It didn't work out the way we wanted to.
But then you have Price to Sell, and like that's amazing.
We have Price to Sell. We have Field Trip. We have B3 and Sergio Talks. So like those guys are out of Montreal crushing, a couple million followers each. Like, so we're growing it. We're slowly. We have Tall Blonde. This show, I'm like, it's a guarantee for me. This one is like a guarantee. Tall Blonde, Sarah Simkowski, she's the host. Incredible personal brand. She's like 1 million followers on TikTok, 200 or 300 on Instagram, but like her engagement's like through the roof. She's like a dating coach for like girls, kind of like a dating thing. And she's been crushing. And we basically gave her her own show, and now we're building out her own like paid community, like via school or whatever. So like people can get like dating advice from her, or like whatever. And so we're doing a bunch of cool stuff with her. She's like the next up and coming. Like I guarantee you that girl is gonna make millions of dollars doing this. So we're excited, and that's it. We're just learning. At the end of the day, that I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm fucking PBD Valuetainment and I'm not Barstool Dave Portnoy. Like I don't know as much as them, and not even 1% of what they know about this space, but we're willing to learn. We're putting the money in, we're investing, and we're making mistakes as they happen, and we're just learning from them. That's pretty much it.
What's been the hardest part about growing like a network like Money by Happiness TV?
Yeah, I think it's just learn. It's a business we never dove into before, right? So it's we're kind of in the same position as we were early on with Neighborhood, where we're just making mistakes. That's truly it. Like we're making mistakes, and we're trying things, and some things stick and some things don't. I'd say the one sort of pain point we have in comparison to, let's say, the early days of Neighborhood is it's a lot more costly. So like to invest and start up a show costs a lot more money, right? So the mistakes you make in this industry, they're a little more costly from a monetary perspective than let's say the things that we did with neighborhood. Like we wanted to test out a new service or whatever. It didn't cost us that much.
Yeah.
But to bring a new show into the network and put your time and effort and resources and money into a talent, it's a lot more costly. So I think the biggest pain point, for us growing this has just been understanding that like it's capital heavy.
Yeah.
And we haven't raised money. It's funny. This is interesting. Everyone who's like every like super successful guy that we've ever sat down with, interviewed, or even just had dinner with, whatever, when they find out that we've built everything we've built without ever raising capital and without taking like loans, they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, dude, everything been bootstrapped 100%. But that's also because I didn't pay myself for fucking 5 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like I ate shit, dude.
Yeah.
I ran up fucking debt. I ran up everything. Of course, you hope to get to a point that you can clear yourself off, which I've been able to do. But yeah, like that's eating shit. That shit that people don't realize. I, as a business owner, if you want to do it super organic and not have to answer to anybody and be able to do the vision and do everything your way, you're going to have to eat shit personally from a financial perspective.
100%.
Right? So yeah, it's fucking grind, boys.
Yeah.
It's
Are you
grind.
guys like looking to raise money or are you guys?
We're considering it now. We considered it a little bit last year. Like we made an announcement that we were going to.
Yeah, because I heard a podcast where you guys said you guys were like in Miami and like people want to buy in. They just want to buy in.
Yeah,
the
well, the thing
valuation,
is, we've
right?
had
Like,
so many people come to us and be like, we want to get involved in this. And like really, really like strong players, like big guys. And so we've always thought about it. And then we actually were like kind of in the process of it. And then again, I picked up the apple and I turned it around and it was a little brown on the other side. So I put that apple back down.
Yeah.
And I said, Ernesto, bro, like, fuck it. Let's keep grinding this out. The right partner will come.
100%.
When it's truly our time, when God says it's your time, it'll be our time.
Yeah.
And so right now we're having loose conversations about it. Because at the end of the day, again, it's very capital intensive, the network business. And so we realize that if we want to be able to compete with the big boys sooner rather than later, it's going to take a capital injection for us to do that. Now, we've also had the conversations internally where, look, we also could just say, fuck raising capital completely, do it neighborhood style, completely organic, off our own dollar.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a longer process. We'll get there. We know that. We know we put the hours and the time in, we have the vision, but it's going to take a little bit longer. It's just a matter of how long we want to wait.
Yeah. Is the plan ever to sell any of the businesses and like kind of have exit strategies? Or
Yeah.
Sure.
Now. Yeah. At the beginning, I didn't even think about that. I was just like,
Yeah.
let's just make as much fucking money as possible. Especially with neighborhood. It was just like, make as much fucking money as possible. Ernesto, let's bring your sister on. Boom, bring her on, give her a salary. Ernesto, I'm bringing my sister on. Boom, bring her on, put her in a leadership role, give her a salary. You know, MBH, my mom. I'm giving my mom a salary off MBH.
Oh, that's dope.
That's awesome.
Like,
what does your
yeah.
mom do for MBH?
Yeah, she does like our bookkeeping, bro.
Oh, wow,
She-
bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So
That's
it's
cool.
awesome. So she
There's no
retired.
better
Her
person.
pension was decent. She worked for like, a government. She was had a government job, so the pension was okay. And I'm able to kind of supplement the difference from her pension to her pay via the company. I still put her to work. Don't get me wrong. It's not
Hey, mama,
Looks gotta be kept no matter what.
it's not listen, it's not like labor intensive by any means.
Yeah.
She maybe looks at the books once a week to clean things up, but so again, it was make as much fucking money as possible, put everybody on, and now I feel like I pretty much have everybody on. And so now it's becoming okay. This is fun. This is awesome. We can play like the monthly reoccurring revenue game where let's see how much money we can make guaranteed a month. And we've obviously been playing that game now for a while, but having conversations with very rich dudes,
Yeah.
your life changes when you get that big check. Like that's what all of them say. Like when you go from like whatever's in your bank account to like all of a sudden $25 million, like that's when your life changes. And so that's what we're chasing right now. Now we're looking at the bigger picture and saying, okay, if we want to exit this, what do we have to do? Where do we have to be? Meaning, okay, inside the business, what type of processes need to be put in place? Because no one's buying your business if you can't take a step out tomorrow and it keeps operating, right? So that's the first thing that we're really focusing on, dialing that in, which I leave a lot of that to Ernesto. I kind of work with him slightly on it, but like the guy's a fucking wizard. Like I wouldn't trust anybody else in the world to do that. And then the other side of it is understanding like the right partner. And then again, selling them the vision, saying like, okay, I want to buy into you, but like, where are you guys headed? What do you want to do? Well, we want to become this. Okay, great. You want to become that. So, but if anybody who invests, like for example, so if someone wants to invest in us, let's say at a $10 million valuation, At the end of the day, they want to know, hey, if I give you $1 million, how's my million turning into 5? And how long? Like, what's the strategy to get there? And who's gonna buy this company for 50 million so that my 1 million turns into 5?
And I bet there's not much comparables for them.
No.
There's not many, correct?
No.
There's
So
not.
it's
There's
like,
really not, right? But we're seeing it now, where you're seeing companies like, for example, Sirius XM Radio. They're a radio station, but they just signed Alex Cooper.
Yeah,
$135 million deal, and it's not even it's non-exclusive.
Yeah, I saw
meaning
that.
that like they're just saying, here's $135 million. We get to put your content on our platform, but you're still allowed to put yours on YouTube, on Spotify, on everything.
Yeah.
So that just tells us we're headed in the right direction. That was sort of a proof of, that was like the stamp of approval. Like, yeah, you guys are going the right direction, because now what we're building is, if we can get to a point where we have 50 shows, and listen, some of them will be monsters and superstars, and some of them will be smaller shows, but regardless, 50 shows roughly. Why wouldn't a network like SiriusXM come to us and say, fuck, we gave Alex Cooper $135 million for a non-exclusive deal, or we can purchase all your IP that we own exclusively, that we can run our ads through and run everything through for $50 million.
Yeah, no, it's 100%.
Whoa, all of a sudden I have a buyer.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not them, maybe it's one of their counterparts. But now when I go to an investor, a potential investor, or someone sitting down with me, I have a real exit plan.
Yeah. Like you're literally
100%.
like the Hulu, the Netflix, the
Yeah,
MBH.
exactly.
Like
The
you're like
Tubi,
that
the
who's
battles.
hosting all these shows
Correct.
exclusively. Like,
Correct. We
fuck
want
yeah.
one of these sort of older generation media groups to come and say, fuck, we can go out and try to sign all these talents, and we're not really sure, because remember, those guys are just a bunch of suits sitting around a fucking table, and they don't know fuck all about what's happening right now. Or and we can go burn money left, right, and center on shit that may or may not work. Or these guys are running a business that's already profitable, by the way, and they own all of this IP that we can run all of our marketing dollars through.
Yeah.
Done. Like, it's a no-brainer for us. Okay, cool. If we're making, you guys are going, okay, if we have $50 million annually that we know for sure of ad revenue that we can put onto all these shows, why wouldn't I pay 50 for them?
Yeah, because it turns out way more in the end, right?
That's
You're
it.
just
Well, you
multiplying
pay the
it.
50 up front
Yeah.
once, and it's yours forever.
Yeah.
Right? All these shows are yours forever. So that 50 comes back like this.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? So now to your question of like, are we ever thinking about selling? Yeah, for sure. Neighborhood, I don't know if Neighborhood is a company that we would exit. I have like an emotional attachment to it. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
my
your
baby. It's
Yeah.
the first like business that I created that's been like uber successful.
Yeah.
At least in my level, my standards. Some guys would be like, yeah, I made that in a day. Fair enough. but MBH TV is definitely something that it could be primed. Like, we could really prime that to sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then for the podcast, you'd never ever swap people, like let people take your host position, I assume, right?
Never.
Right? That's what,
No.
yeah, okay. That's
Never,
what
bro.
I didn't think so, because it wouldn't seem
Never.
the same.
It wouldn't
ever,
hit the same.
Yeah.
People watch like, and that's the thing about podcasts. People watch Money Buys Happiness for me and Ernesto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been episodes where it's been just me. There's been episodes where it's been just him, because of business. We need to be in certain places. But no, never. Yeah. That I would just run just because I enjoy it, bro.
Yeah.
So-
Yo, take us through the moment when you seen Nona on a boat in Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, that was a legendary moment, bro. It was cool. It was kind of like a full circle moment for me. My nonna turns 80 this year. So it was a big birthday for her.
Wow.
And I lived with her for most of my life. Super Italian, like live with my nonna. And that woman's cared for me like I'm her own child, and still to this day, like, I make sure I go have dinner with her once a week as long as I'm in Toronto. There's like, I would kill anybody for, like, you don't even know. Like, there's not anything I wouldn't do for that woman. And so it's been kind of a goal of mine. This is the yacht is one goal and the PJ is another one. But a goal of mine has been to like show her something that, like, her being born in this little small town in Italy, like, she could have never believed that she'd be doing.
Yeah.
And I don't even know she knows what the fuck yachts are. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, so I'm like, dude, if I could, take my 80-year-old nonna, my grandmother, people don't know what nonna is, a grandmother in Italian. If I could take my 80-year-old nonna on a yacht, like, her like inner child is gonna go crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
She probably can't even fathom where she is. And that's what it was, bro. Like, we had a sick, like, 80-foot yacht. It was a big yacht. I had a bunch of, like, my family, Ernesto's family, like, our sisters, the whole thing, and my nonna. It was the craziest thing. And I told like the captain, like, dude, take us around, like, the islands with like the 30, 40, 50, $100 million houses. And my Nona's just looking off, and she's just like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. Like all she kept saying was like, I can't believe like I'm on a yacht in Miami. Like she kept, I never thought in my life I'd see this, you know? And so I was blessed enough that she took the risk to move to Canada.
Yeah.
Because she thought it'd be a better life for her children.
Mm-hmm.
She had her children, my mom was one of them. And now if I'm not doing enough to give her, like if I'm not able to give her those experiences, I feel like a failure, bro. Like that's how hard I go on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's truly what it was. It was amazing for her, but it was like almost kind of like selfish for me. Like I had a little moment where I was just like, I want to do this just to see the look on her face. Like and that will make me feel good.
Of course.
There's a little bit of selfishness and everything anything that you do for other people, like there's always a little bit of selfishness in it because it makes you feel good. But selfishness in a good way, right? That's what that was for me. It was incredible. Yeah, we did New Year's Eve and we had a bunch of alcohol and I hadn't drank for like maybe like half a year, and so I got a little lit that night. But I'm not gonna lie, I got a little lit that night because it was a celebration for me just to see my family on this yacht, and it was an ode to everything that I've been doing.
That's awesome, bro. I feel like
bro,
that. Like
awesome.
I saw that now, and I remember you like Nona's here. I'm like,
yeah.
damn, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
cool.
amazing, bro. It's just like it just goes to show how important family is to you. You know what I mean? And how important like you don't want to leave them behind. You're still bringing them out to experiences, and that said a lot about you. At least for me.
Yeah,
you know?
I hate seeing these like young dudes. And I think they're just learning, so I want to shit on anyone specifically. But I see a lot of these young dudes who just like make a lot of money, internet money, doing whatever, they're crypto, this, that, and they're just like buying these crazy cars and doing all this crazy shit. And it's like, dude, your mom's like back home in Ohio in like a fucking shitty apartment.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you just bought a fucking Ferrari. Like, dude, you should have given that money to your mom, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I
Get
mean?
her out
Like,
of there.
brother, I could have been here all types of watches, all types of bling, sick car, like. But then like, how would that look and how would I feel knowing like my mom's still, in this position or my dad's still in this position? Like, what the fuck? Like,
Did you feel like were you ever caught up in that life, especially when you you guys signed to Full Send? Like I feel like
Never.
like everything was like amplified.
bro.
Never.
Never. Me and Ernesto have always made it a thing that our families is like the number one thing. Like I said, we brought our sisters into the business, brought my mom into the business. My dad does more. He's still working, so once he's retired, I'll find a position for him.
Yeah.
But because I know he just wants to be around. But my dad's here almost every couple of days, like fixing something. He's just finding shit to do because he just wants to be around.
Yeah. Like the handyman he can be for the business.
And I'm like, dude, here, I'm throwing him cash. He's like, I don't want it. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You're doing shit. You got to get paid for it. It's just that's how it works,
Yeah.
So no, man, never. I've never, thank God, I never fell into that. Like you see me, I'm not blinged out, bro. I don't got anything crazy. I'm wearing shit. There's no fucking brand names anywhere. Like I got nothing, bro. I'm just here to grind. And so I never put any of that. I never got lost in it. So I'm thankful for that.
I saw that you actually talked about it recently, how people try to correlate like money and like followers, right? And you kind of spoke on that. Why'd that hit you so hard?
It hit me hard, bro, because I feel like it kind of made me sad, dude. It kind of made me sad because it gave perspective to like the way the world's operating right now. And like, look, like, so to give context to that for anyone watching, listening, is like, I posted a reel of the new warehouse, and I think it's like almost 700,000 views. It went pretty viral, great engagement, and I got a ton of DMs. And one guy DM'd me saying like, "Hey man, like I'm in a similar space to you, blah blah blah, like business space, and how did you do this with like barely 40,000 followers? Like I just don't see what I'm missing." And that just proved to me that people are so blinded by the facade of social media that they don't realize like just because you have followers, bro, doesn't mean fuck all. Like I said in my post, I'm like, dude, I know billionaires with 200 followers, private. You wouldn't even know who they were. But people are so sold by these fake gurus and these guys that are putting on lifestyles, which by the way, like I was going to mention, like I know a bunch of them and they're all renting cars.
Yeah.
They're all renting this, renting that, pretending to have this lifestyle they don't actually have. But what that does is that gives false hope or it makes it unrealistic for the guy who's actually trying to do something to the point where he's thinking like, fuck, if I don't have 500,000 followers, like I'm not going to be successful. Brother, the guy you follow has 500,000 followers. They're probably fake, first of all.
Yeah.
They don't believe nothing nowadays, by the way. So that's number one when it comes to followers and likes and shares and this and that. But it hit me hard, bro, because I just want people to realize, like, again, 100 views on your podcast, that's huge. Keep fucking rolling. Don't let the fact that there's podcasts that get 500,000 views an episode stop you because they were in your shoes one day. So you correlate that to that guy's message, his followers.
Yeah.
Again, brother, 10 followers, 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 1 million followers. That does not equate to how much money you make.
Yeah.
Facts.
100%.
Right? But people don't realize that. And so, you know, that's why that hit me hard.
Yeah.
But that was my big point. My big point was just like, yeah, like we got to like switch the narrative a little bit, bro.
Facts.
People got to realize that like all this shit they see on social media, 90% of it's fake. I only know a few guys that I met personally that are really doing what they say they're doing. A lot of them are just, it's marketing. A lot of them are just putting on a show. And hey, kudos to you, buddy. You guys can make them, you can make people believe this, and that. I'll never hate on the way you get a bag. Just not for me.
Yeah.
Facts.
Do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, that it's funny. That's Ernesto's like big thing. He's like, dude, no one believed in me. Like,
Yeah.
I had girlfriends who were like, no, like this and that. Said I would be nothing. So he walked around with a chip on his shoulder. I have a chip on my shoulder a little bit too. I have a chip on my shoulder because I believe that a lot of people don't believe that I can get to where I think I'm going and where I say I'm going. We've done deals in the past where, you know, the support was supposed to be a lot more and it wasn't. And I feel like that's because they didn't believe in it. They did for a bit and they stopped. But yeah, I think the chip on my shoulder more is to prove to myself that I could do it. You know, again, I fight the battle every day of like, you can do it, you can't, quit, keep going. Yeah. So the chip on my shoulder, I'd say more so than anything is like to prove to myself that I could do what I say I'm going to do.
Yeah. Do you have any like regret throughout your experience podcasting and like really getting in like the online presence, right?
No, not really, man. I'm the kind of guy, like I would like, you know, we'll end this. I'll say like, you guys want to cut stuff. But like everything I said is more than good to go on the air. I am who I am, bro. I'm going to say what I want to say. And if you don't like it, don't fuck with me, bro. I don't care. Unfollow me, block me, remove me from anything ever. I don't care. You want to do business with me? Don't do business with me. Yeah. And yeah, maybe I'll say stupid shit every once in a while that I'll look back and regret. Not regret, be like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But like, I'm also human.
Yeah.
So maybe my thought process in that moment isn't what my thought process is now. People evolve, people grow, right? So I'm actually more than happy to say everything because I think that also is, it gives people the reality, like it shows them authenticity in who I am. I'm not perfect. I'm not the guy showing myself in the Rari every day. Bro, I'm so rich. Or you know, the guy who's sitting in front of the camera every day is going, these are the 10 steps to do this. And no. I'm not, again, I don't want to hate on those guys, but like, I'll show you my authentic self. And if you like it, great. And if you don't, you don't. Yeah. But I find that from the people that really fuck with me, they fuck with me because I'm real. That I'll just say whatever's on my mind, whether people like it or not. There's people like I'm not, for you guys, I'm not afraid to get political. I don't give a shit. I'll say anything. I don't give a fuck. I will say literally anything. I have some of the hottest takes probably on the internet. This is what it is. But like at the end of the day, even, and it's been happening more that the tide's been turning. Yeah. But even people who don't agree with what I say are now respecting me for just having the balls to say it. Yeah. And that's always been my biggest thing is like, you don't have to agree with me, bro, but at least hear me out. And that's it. Maybe have some respect for the fact that I'm not a fucking pussy and I'll say what I want to say. And I would respect you if you did the same.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of people had this, like, at least like, you know, before COVID had this, like, you have to be someone else online, right? And then it really showed, like, after COVID, it's like, no, you can really be yourself. And like, especially if you're like your own entrepreneur, like, who's going to fire you? Who's going to like,
don't have anything to
no one
lose.
can do nothing, right? You're building, you're making your own money and making your own bags. So that no one can get in your way. I guess like before we really wrap up here, I want to ask a question. Like, do you think the little kid version of yourself, would he be proud of the man you are today?
Damn, that's a good question. Yeah, I think overall he would. I've definitely done things in my life that maybe he wouldn't be so proud of and that I'm not proud of today. That I'm always trying to get better and I'm always trying to kind of fix those things. But I think overall he would. I think overall he'd be like, fuck, you know, you've done what you said you were going to do, you know, majority of it. And maybe you haven't reached the heights that you saw when you were 5 years, like you saw those visions. You haven't reached those heights yet. But I think he'd be proud. Like I said, I'm working every day to try to be better. And, you know, again, success is not a linear line up. It's wavy. You go up and you come back down a bit. Then you go a little bit higher and you come back down. But it's higher highs and higher lows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as long as that's the progression, right? It's like the stock charts, you know, they go like this.
Yeah,
like,
the
you
pips.
come down,
Catch
that
the
pip,
pips.
pip,
Catch the
and you
pips,
fucking-
exactly. Big candles, little ones.
You know, it's like Dave Portnoy said, stocks only go up, bro. That's it. So, you know, it's only up. It only goes up, only goes up. And as long as when you sort of peak and then you hit the valleys, as long as you bounce back, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, overall, I think he'd be proud of me. Like I said, there's probably some things I've done where he'd be like, bro, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think he would be.
Yeah, and we always ask that 'cause I feel like the little kid version of everyone is like their genuine self, like who they really are, right? And if you're like portraying that in your adult self, then it's like if that aligns, then I feel like that's like your purpose in a way, like that's where happiness comes from. Let's say, right?
Absolutely.
You want to go through the rapid fire questions?
Yeah, so we got some rapid fire questions.
Let's
for you.
go. I'm
So
usually on the other side of this. So I
Yeah,
like it.
no,
take
so
it out the questions.
I actually remembered them. My phone's over there, but
Okay,
I got them
okay.
off the top of my head too.
Yeah,
Like for
go.
first one, we'll do this
Shoot.
one. So what's the Bodog bet for the Super Bowl this weekend?
Kansas City Chiefs money line. The script's already written.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Okay. Next one was Ronaldo or Messi.
Ronaldo.
Ass or,
Ronaldo, hard work. I take hard work over talent any day.
okay. Ass or tits.
Ass.
Okay.
Ass. Because tits you can like, you know what I mean? Ass, like you got to work for that shit. I mean, well,
100%.
maybe not. BBLs, but like ass.
Yeah.
Morning or night person.
Can I say both?
Okay, we could take that one. And then is Canada going to be a part of the U.S.?
I'm down for it. I'm down for it
too.
too. I know that's a hot take. It's
Literally.
funny. My whole team
Will
is
hate you
against
for it?
me. They're against me. We have these debates.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it. Like the patriotism of Canada, I understand it. But bro, we would be in such a better position economically
Yeah.
if we were just like using the US dollar and stuff. But that's a whole other.
Yeah.
That's a whole other podcast.
Another
thing.
podcast. So jump on that one next time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's
Like,
literally
it.
it. That was just quick rapid fire.
Yeah,
That's what we
brother.
had
No,
for you, bro.
like honestly, we appreciate you, like taking the time and inviting us to your beautiful
Yo, bro,
studio,
it's
bro.
awesome.
The grid, this place is amazing, yo. For those of you guys who don't know, like you
gotta
gotta
come.
book the studio. Like it's exactly what you see online.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
there's no fluffing behind it. You know what I mean?
I love that.
That's it.
Thank you guys. No, listen. Thank you guys for making the trip. I didn't know you guys were coming from London. That's
Yeah, bro.
crazy.
Yeah.
I appreciate that so much, man. It means a lot. And this time has been great. It's been such a good conversation. I'm excited to see the final result. And gents, keep fucking going. Keep going. Please don't stop.
Yeah.
Do me the favor. You guys are great hosts. Keep practicing your skill. Keep flexing that muscle. Do as many fucking interviews as possible.
Yeah.
Like I said, you guys want to come here and shoot it? I'd love to bless you guys. As long as you promise to keep going, I'm bought and I'm
You
sold.
won't have to worry
Appreciate it,
about that.
brother. Yeah, and like honestly, like big shout out to you, bro, because like it's you guys are really like the trailblazers in all this, right? Like especially for Canada, like seeing you boys like winning, signing with Full Send, like bro, that made us amped. It gave us something to look up to, and like yeah, we can do it too. So like appreciate you, brother. And it's long overdue.
Yes,
it's long
it is,
overdue.
it
And
is,
Lester,
it
we're
is.
catching you next, huh?
Yeah,
Don't
we'll
be
get
running,
him.
bro.
We'll get him
Don't
next.
be
We'll get him
running.
next.
But yeah, appreciate you, Anthony, bro, and yeah, we'll be in touch, bro. And for you guys got spoiled today, and
You know
make
where
sure
to
you like,
find us,
comment,
too.
subscribe, and that's it.
We'll see you next time. Peace.